Эта песня называется Just a Joke.
Welcome back, nerds. We are Nerdcast Podcast. Here for the second part of
Someone save me.
Joe. And here we got some rumblings, and it's not even rumblings. There was a full-on earthquake in the NBA. Kyrie,
Yes, sir. That man continues to always send waves, no matter where he goes and how he thinks he's going to be happy. Nope.
like, he ain't never heard the phrase "real G's will be silent." Like, ever.
Yep.
Hey, so, those of you that don't know, Kyrie Irving was traded over the weekend. Last week, he requested trade on Friday by the deadline, and then 48 hours later, he was traded on Sunday to the Dallas Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie,
One other player.
Finney Smith, Dorian Finney-Smith. Sorry about that. And they had an unprotected 2029 first-round pick and their 2027 and 2029 second-round pick. How do we feel?
Was Kyrie worth it?
If it was Kyrie of like even 3 years ago, I would say a little bit more of a yes. But Kyrie now, like, no. Like, again, he is a great player, he's a great shooter, he's a great distributor, but he is getting to a point where I don't know how much longer he actively even really wants to play, especially like with the way he's going to be handled by teams, because any team that brings him on, they got to be ready to handle the social aspect of it. And I think the Mavericks are an organization that's well equipped for that, because they have Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban is overall a better business-minded person than a lot of the other owners. And I think he might be able to help rein in Kyrie's attitude, but there's got to be a whole bunch of like things in his contract that they're like, hey, you can't do this, or this unless you run it by us first and we like approve whatever you're about to post.
Well, two things. I will say in that contract, it would say you don't do this, and this at all. Don't even run it by us.
don't want to type it out in your notes and leave it there.
I
type out
about it. Don't do it.
No, don't send me that text.
3 years ago. 3 years ago is when he was going to the Brooklyn Nets, and I was saying, why do you think anything is going to be different with Kyrie? He's going to blow it up. I said that. He is going to blow it up. And fast forward, he blew it up. So let's go back to 2017. Kyrie leaves LeBron. You know, he wants to be on his own. He doesn't want to live in nobody's shadow. Excuse me. 2018, goes to the Celtics. Celtics makes the playoffs. Kyrie does not. He gets injured, and he doesn't even go to the final. Game 7. 2019. Well, before 2019, Kyrie says, "I'm happy here." They had the same attitude. They wanted to show me what being a Celtic is all about, and I was going to come around, and I absolutely did. I believe it. I believe in the franchise. 2019, he's on the Brooklyn Nets. That was a lie. Treat that just like Maury. You said you wanted to stay with the Celtics. That was a lie. And now, he goes to the Nets, and you run Steve Nash out of there. Before you do that, he says, me, Kev, Steve, and Joe, we're going to sit down and we're going to manage this team the right way, and we're going to do this thing, and we're going to win some stuff. That was a lie. Because he got Steve Nash fired.
Yes, you did.
I don't think his best friend KD likes him anymore because, just like last time, when they were trying to go through getting Kyrie traded, they run all that stuff like Kevin Durant. You know, because he's the reason why everybody's there. You know, he ran James Harden out the building. James
did.
Like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. He was like, what the fuck is this? Who's gonna coach? We don't need a coach? What? Nah, dog. I don't want to do that. So like all of like 6 games during that whole span where they look like a real team.
Yeah.
Mind you, he hasn't had a meaningful playoff series, maybe a meaningful playoff game since the big shot in Cleveland.
Yeah, 100%. Like he's underperformed like his expectations, especially for as much as he hypes himself up, and as much as he likes to hype up any other team he's going to be on. Like he consistently just he consistently just lets down an organization because he thinks he's the one that's going to be able to carry a team, and he can't. Like he just can't do it, especially with like his overall attitude kind of towards other things outside of basketball, because that says a lot about you as a player too. It shows the mindset that you have. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a person that was adamant about forcing people to get a vaccine. If you don't want to get it, go ahead, you can deal with the after effects. But like for him to just actively be so adamant against it, and that like overall affects the team's mentality when one of the best players on the team is like, I'm not doing this. Like what y'all want doesn't matter to me. Like that says a lot. Like that to me shows that you aren't about this like team effort to get to what we all want. And that's hard to play with.
Yeah.
Now, I can definitely agree with that. But I feel like the Mavericks are a good place for Kyrie. Because of like one big part is because of Mark Cuban, and I think he's gonna get him media trained, get him a little bit more discipline. But also he has Luka. It's like having LeBron like he did back in the day, and they got a real shot at the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we could see a different Kyrie at the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, as far as the vaccine thing, I mean, to an extent, how much would you compromise your personal beliefs for a job?
Man, that's a fair question. Mm-hmm. But Kyrie has consistently shown a habit of not sticking to his guns, not sticking to his belief. Yeah. Because personally, I think Kyrie isn't necessarily a follower. I think he wants to do good so bad that, like, you know, he hears things and then somebody says this will be a good idea for this cause, jumps on, and he doesn't do all his research. You know,
I can. All right, so I can feel that.
You've seen what happened with like the vaccine. Yeah. He said he was standing up for like the little people. He said, you know, it's bigger than whatever the hell he said, and then he turns around and does whatever he can to like get back on the team. And then you got this movie that he posted about, and he stood his ground for a hot second, and then Nike pulled out, and then he followed suit. He said, I can post what I want, I can do whatever I want, and then after all this other stuff happens, he says you can't blame me for posting something somebody else made. You know, like all these excuses, like he's not a man of his word. Hold on, give me 1 second to pull it up.
Put them all together like that. It kind of when you I can see that because he is jumping around a lot.
Here, with the Cleveland,
and he's not. I think he's more. I think he won't stand on certain things because he doesn't want to be another Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? And he realized that
he wants to be like,
and he's like, all right,
but he doesn't.
He wants,
he doesn't want to make the sacrifices.
Yeah, exactly.
First quote from the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, I won't leave. I'm not leaving. You know, so he's going to stay with Cleveland. The Celtics, if you guys will have me back,
No.
I plan on re-signing. I love it here. Brooklyn, love it here. This was also like days ago. I love it here. There's no way I could leave my man. Or no, this wasn't days ago. This was summer. No way I can leave my man 7.
I retract my previous statement about the vaccine.
7.
I no longer feel that way.
But there was so many places Kyrie could have went that I thought it could have possibly worked, like Miami. I thought that probably would have been great. Maybe they would have given up Jimmy Butler, but maybe that's a good thing because they like Jimmy Butler.
You don't want to give up Jimmy Butler.
He's too inconsistent with his health.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
recently it's been a problem.
He's not even he hasn't even taken a step back while he's on the court. It's just like more frequent missing games. So, you know, Bam is finally taking a step, you know, into like taking the team over for real. So they might be relieved there, but they would have certainly been good with Bam and Kyrie. I thought that would have been a perfect combo.
That would have been nice. Phoenix
was a possibility. I thought that'd be a great place to go. Not sure why they would like to give up on Chris Paul, but I mean, you should definitely let him retire there. That's what I thought. But if you get anybody, it would have been great. You know, Kyrie and DeAndre Ayton. It seemed like they would get along. And then his number 1 spot, the Lakers. You know, but Josiah did not want him to go anywhere he wanted to go.
Yeah, because he was a problem. But then, I'm not going to give you this easy out.
Mm-hmm. Like you said earlier, you know, like you think that's a great place. I don't think it's a great place, but I don't think that's like screwing Kyrie. Like initially when we were talking about this yesterday, I thought he was going to end up in Toronto just like Kawhi. But I guess Toronto would be a rival. You know, they'd have to go through Kyrie eventually, but like, you know, you ship somebody to the cold to Canada out of the country.
Yeah. Facts. Like get on the body here, brother.
Yeah,
like
but like that team would have had him and Pascal Siakam would have got along great, and they definitely got pieces to move for Kyrie, especially if they got Dorian Finney-Smith and Dinwiddie.
Yep. Yeah, and but I still stand by the fact that I feel like the Mavericks is a good place for Kyrie. I think him and Luka might do good together if they can. I mean, Luka's for a young guy. I think he's a good leader. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so if he can get Kyrie like in a mindset like, yo, me and you. I mean, because if like hypothetically speaking, if Kyrie were to like perform like he's supposed to and fall in line with Luka, them two could do some real damage in the league together. Like,
yeah,
that'd be crazy.
I think for me is I think of it as like when Westbrook went to the Rockets. Everyone was really hyped because it was going to be Harden and Westbrook on the team again, and them both being stellar players separately at that time meant it was going to be a great combo, but then it didn't really work out as well as they wanted it to. Don't get me wrong, like Houston was still a very formidable team, but like those guys didn't perform at that same type of like high end level together. I think Kyrie can be dominant without the ball, so that I think is where it benefits Luka a lot, because Luka's just a beast. Like, he's been playing basketball in a way that a lot of NBA players don't have the experience, because Luka was playing at an international level at a very young age. Like, there's a reason he's as good as he is. So yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I didn't believe it was gonna happen when I'm like, he'll probably go to the Mavs, just because, again, like you were saying, like those two together sounds so dangerous.
Yeah,
like it. I'm very, very intrigued. I'm curious to see how it's actually gonna play out. But Kyrie just is doing Kyrie things,
so it's like I'm hoping for the best, you know.
Yeah,
I want to see that work out. So, but you never know, because and both of you guys raised a lot of good points on why It couldn't work out. So.
Well,
Yeah,
see me,
no.
I don't
And I had to
think it's a bad
retract some
trade.
stuff.
I don't think it's a great trade. I think it's a desperate trade by Dallas. I mean,
It's a shot.
I think the furthest they'll get with those two is the conference finals. I don't think. Well, they could get to the finals. I don't think they'll ever win a championship together. The bad part about the trade, I think, is Dallas. They continue to make trades, in my opinion, that damages the future of Luka.
Yeah.
Not Luka, the player, of Luka being with the Dallas Mavericks. So you trade away Jalen Brunson. He was a great complimentary piece.
I didn't understand that.
But you got Spencer Dinwiddie, and that's he's a better defender.
Mm-hmm.
And not as big of a scorer, but he can score big. You know what I'm saying? And so, to me, they needed another complimentary player that I think would have been better if they would have got a big guy.
Yeah.
Then
they brought in Porzingis for that exact reason, and then that fell apart.
And Porzingis had too much of an ego, which is why I don't think this will work. Like, Kyrie is good off the ball. He's a brilliant player, so he is great off the ball. But that's not what he wants to do, and that's not where he's at his best. His best is when he controls the ball for majority of the game.
Mm-hmm.
He is the point guard / shooting guard. Luka is the true point guard / shooting forward. They're going to clash. That's like, I'm glad you brought out the Russell Westbrook and James Harden, because like that's what it reminds me of. Like, they're not going to be able to figure it out. This is Luka's team, and Kyrie has a tad bit too much ego to take that.
But we have seen Kyrie with LeBron, who had to share the spotlight,
and then what
got close to a chip.
And then what did he say?
Well, all right, he established that. I'm just saying they got close to a chip. They got close to a chip.
He got to the Celtics. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be able to lead these guys. Then Jason Tatum and Jalen Brunson or Jalen Brown got too good too quick.
I'm just.
Oh, you kind of broke up there.
I'm just purely talking about the season. Him and LeBron.
I know. I'm just saying, like, this is how Kyrie's mind works. This is what I can assess from it. It's just he has to be the majority at all times, and that's not going to happen in Dallas. The majority is Luka. The better player is Luka.
Yeah, they
how it's going to be.
Luka,
I mean, if he can do what he has to do, good for him. But I don't see that. I don't see him. Like, he hasn't played for like a full season in years.
Also true.
But I also feel like Kyrie is also getting to that point where he's like, all right, I can't do it by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He knows him and KD won't do it together,
and that's an unknown.
So,
like, I mean, that's what common sense would tell you to do. But we talk about Kyrie, dog. Kyrie, he had multiple platters set up for him. Like, look, I mean, Boston would have won like 2 to 3 championships.
You keep coming with points that
Boston would have won like 2 or 3 championships. I'm telling you, Boston would.
Stop arguing with you, Greg.
Kyrie is a fascinating person. He ain't the best person. He's fascinating, though. Very interesting. There's a lot of things that goes on in that whole Kyrie world. And wait, whenever he speaks, things move. Everything moves. Like,
yeah, this is true.
I mean,
it's Uncle Drew, baby.
Uncle Drew.
What do you guys think is going to happen with Kevin Durant? Is he staying? Is he going?
No, God, no, he's going. Because I saw something today. I saw something. It was either today or yesterday that he also was like, "All right, well then I also want out again." because he asked to be out before.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he said that today?
Yep.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I saw that.
I got home and I turned off everything so I can go into
But
that.
if Kyrie leaves, of course, like he's like, what am I here for? Why am I here?
Well, see, I don't think that's a great idea. Because like he doesn't make the best choices in where he goes and who he like goes with.
Oh yeah. I mean, after he left the Warriors,
if he goes to the Warriors,
done with this
that I don't think that'd be. I don't think it'd be a bad.
I don't think that. I don't think they'll take him.
Yeah, I think he'd get caught up too much caught up on the perception again, or maybe he won't. Maybe he's past it, like you said, Kyrie should be. But
at the same time, we'll have to see because, like, I mean, if we're talking about the Warriors, Steph is going to be out for like
a low blow
decent amount of time.
No, I was talking about that.
I know, I'm just playing.
But no, I mean, but that's why they would need him. That's kind of why the Kyrie's there. So when Luka's off the floor or not in the game.
Yep.
But like the Warriors, they're pretty stacked and they do what they do.
I mean, if the Nets,
they're training their younger.
If the Nets like
to do work, so it's
So like they'll be fine without Steph. Like right now, they're playing OKC. OKC's not the best team, but they play hard, and they were down like 10 minutes ago by like 10, and now they're up by 3 or 4.
Yeah, everybody does a great job of stepping up, especially when Curry's not, like when he was out with the shoulder injury. Everybody, Clay stepped up, all the younger guys stepped up. Dante, Poole, it was they're solid.
Yeah. To me, I think it'd be better if KD stayed because Jacques Vaughn is a good coach, and they have picks, they have players that they've groomed, and not even players like the pieces they gotten, and like now they're being coached well. And,
right.
Like people are putting up, like everyone plays hard on Brooklyn. Every single person aside from Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons.
I'm convinced. Like I don't even hate him anymore. I just don't think he wants to play basketball.
I don't think he does either.
Yeah, you just gotta accept who he is.
But we got a whole podcast episode on Ben Simmons.
I think what I could predict for the Nets is if they do trade KD, it will probably be to the Bulls, and it will probably involve Zach LaVine because he wants out of the Bulls.
I'm so glad you said that because it hit me earlier, and I was like, the Bulls would have been a great trade for both teams. Zach LaVine for Kyrie Irving, straight up, because Zach LaVine
that would have been good.
Is great. Maybe you might have to throw a little bit of something in there, but I mean, the Nets had enough Kyrie where they would have done it, and then
you give
like Kyrie Irving
a reason to stay.
Yes, Kyrie Irving needs a player like DeMar DeRozan. But I was also thinking about when I said DeMar DeRozan, that's the type of player that Luka needs. Like the perfect player is DeMar DeRozan or a Damian Lillard.
Yeah, because DeMar would be great. Yep,
that would be great. Lillard in the Mavericks jersey, that would be tough.
They have zero ego. They just love balling. They just
love playing ball.
They're the quiet guys like we talked about. They're going to do their job, but the moment you push them, you're going to regret it.
Yeah, that's going to be your ass. That's going to be your ass.
Dame is the truth, bro. Dame is one of my favorite players just because he doesn't have an ego. He plays hard. And like you said, he'll turn it up on you fast. Drop 62 like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let's see.
One of the most clutch players of all time. That's without a ring, too.
Without a ring. And then he's a loyal player. Like, I'm happy here. I'm going to stay here. Like you were saying, Kyrie. He's going to stay in Portland. Like,
sir.
Yeah, he's gonna die trailblazer, like 100%. Like, I admire that.
I think he'll be traded eventually. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think the team. I think the team will force him out if it happens.
No, it's not even gonna be. Well, here's.
I don't think he's gonna make the decision to leave.
Here's the force out I see, but it's not really a force out. They'll be talking, and then in the conversation, they'll be like, "Well, look, we love to have you as a lifer, but if you want to leave to chase a ring, we will do our best to get you where you need to be to get that ring." That's where I see it. Or they'll be like, "You know what? You just get the fuck out of here, man. We love you."
Yeah, exactly.
And Portland will love him no matter what.
You've done enough for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
He's
just
gonna
how
be loved.
Michael
He's that type
Jordan
of person.
is a North
Like
Carolina
Portland runs on Dame time,
Yeah,
100%.
no matter,
Like
and from here on out,
Oh,
it doesn't matter
no matter
where he's
what.
at. They will be on Dame time. They will
Yeah,
watch his games
yeah.
all the time. I bet you his games, no matter where he go, will be broadcasted more.
He's done a lot for Portland.
Yep.
You know, on and off the court, he's done so much for Portland. That's why he's gonna be like forever respected.
Yes, sir. But we are on LeBron James all-time scoring record watch. Who's ready to see the king?
not Michael Jordan.
This record is a 39-year-old record, I think. 30-year-old record.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a 30-plus year old record. So like I usually get disconnected from these records that everybody breaks. So you got Tom Brady breaking a record every day, LeBron James breaking a record every day. Somebody's breaking some kind of record every day, and you got these analysts who crunch numbers, and it's like, oh, he's the first player to do 39 while
They're
wearing
putting random stuff
Calvin
together
Klein underwear with no jock strap
and low socks.
and low socks.
Like Jesus, Jesus Christ!
Like we're really going
That's
for
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. I was reading and I was like,
It's just like how like we now have like a day for everything, like tortilla day. We have brother's day. We have like
right.
dad day,
National Good Day
Father's
Day.
What are you talking about?
Good
Like,
day.
Mom Day. You're like, no, that's Mother's Day. I'm pretty sure.
That's really
Yeah.
a thing, though.
Oh
That's
man,
wild.
all the extra stuff they can think of, it's always going to get in there some point.
It's like you need a day. You need a day.
But,
Over with it.
Day.
but I think this is a good spot to take a break, so then we can dive into our boy LeBron and some other topics we got coming up, talking about the scrappiness of the NBA.
Yes, sir. Nerd out.